Hey, AfterBuzzers! On this episode of the GH Report, a killer is revealed, Liz takes a double down the stairs, and one of the lamest weddings I've ever had a chance to watch. Plus, the game-changing announcement we all promised. Next on the GH Report.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, everybody. That's it. Welcome, everybody, to the GH Report here. If it is Sunday and it is running late, then that is us.
Yeah. 20 minutes late.
That's right. Yes. It is all my fault. I feel your scorn and I accept it.
You better not dare take the blame for that, Frank.
No, I will take it all. I will take it all. It is all me.
That was my bad.
We just get chatty.
Yeah.
We're going to be breaking down the week that was in Port Charles. I'm one of your hosts, Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie.
And I'm Lacretia Lyon, so you guys can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
And you can find me on Twitter at Ladine_Harvey and Facebook at Ladine Harvey.
And, of course, James Lott Jr., the person that rounds out this panel. He is gone today, but he'll be back in the chair next week. We miss him. Maybe a little spoiler, we maybe get a little call from Mr. James Lott Jr. later this episode. If we can't have him in studio, we can at least hear his sultry tones on the phone.
Yeah, and while I'm laughing here, Frank, is because there are several people that disagree with you on the J-Sam wedding, and it's just too funny to me. Simran Singh says, "Shut up, Frank. It was so cute." And I totally agree. But yeah, give it a chance, Frank. The wedding didn't even happen yet.
There was a little cheese in it this week, though. Just a little bit.
But as Daquan, who I love, says, "I'm with Frank on this. J-Sam is so dull. I like Sam, just not with Jason."
Yes. I'm going to tear into this later on. I can't wait. But as always, folks, you can like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes. You can give us sweet 5 stars there. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hop in the chat. Of course, Lucretia's got her computer up and running. Hop in the chat. You can share your thoughts like everybody else has been wrongly about the Jason wedding and how great it was. If you want to sit and put that thought in there, I will laugh at it. And we will talk about it later on in the episode. But we'll just jump into the week that was here in Port Charles.
Yes.
First, we'll start off with, I guess, probably the biggest thing is we finally have the hospital killer revealed.
Yes, I couldn't believe that they made it Paul.
Lazy ass writing.
Why Paul?
Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt. Also, hi, everyone.
Hey, Alexis.
We actually have a very special guest who is on the line that we all love very dearly.
Oh, my word.
Oh.
Go ahead, caller. Say your name and where you're from.
I'm calling from Sacramento, California. My name is James Lott Jr.
Hi, James.
Sounds familiar. Hey, everybody,
It's so different,
It's
though.
been so long since I've heard your voice. I don't even know what it sounds like
seriously,
anymore,
I didn't even know
James.
it was him.
I know you guys. I am actually tuned in briefly to watch you guys. I know Frank's ready to rant.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
wait.
Oh.
Ready for you to rant. But I want to bring it down for just a second because I can. Because I can do this really quick. I just want to say really quick because I'm not there, to all the fans and to the 3 of you for being so supportive during this very rough time for me and my family since my brother's death. And it was very comforting to know that I have a community of people who not only watch us and who comment and fight with us every week, but also have come together and sent me all the virtual hugs in the world. And it means the world to me. And the 3 of you guys are like my children, and you guys were there, my messages and phone calls, and I got cards and things. You guys were so great, the 3 of you, and I just want to say thank you.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome,
James.
Papa James. Thank you.
Now, I understand
Yeah,
you also got one of your grandson's birthday parties today. So
Yeah, well, so with my grandson Rylan, I posted a picture on pictures yesterday. His birthday was yesterday, same day as Chris Alfonso on Days of Our Lives. My favorite. And he turned 10, and so this is growing up so fast, and so it's like the circle of life. It's kind of one of the things, you have death, and then you have life does continue, and I get to watch him hopefully grow up and for a very long time. So it's been kind of nice.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, and all the chat is just saying, "I love you, James."
Yes.
And, definitely happy birthday to Rylan.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. And I'll be back next week, probably crying, but I'll be back next week to talk all the soap stuff I'll be watching. And but I just wanted to say thank you, just publicly say thank you to everybody, because you guys are all my village, and I appreciate that. And I guess you guys have been following us online. We have a busy September for JH Report happening. So it's our 1 year anniversary coming up. I have some guests coming in. I have a whole bunch of stuff happening. So you want to watch us every Sunday this month.
James Lott Jr. has been killing it in the guest bookings
He
for
works
this
so
month.
hard. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Love you, James.
I do my best. I love you guys. I do my best. And so you guys, the viewers really, you're gonna want to tune in every single. I feel like one of the soaps always do. You want to tune in every week. You want to tune in every week because we have some great stuff going on. And of course, all this, my other girl, Alexis Torres, or all Alexis Torres is sold.
Hi.
She's the bomb, and it's been just wonderful to me and my mom and all that stuff. So I just want to give a shout out to you too, of course.
Oh, thanks, love.
Now, James, before we let you go, just real quick,
Yeah.
I know if you've had a chance to watch this week, just real quick, your quick thought about Jason and Sam's, the beginning of their wedding.
Since Frank's getting a lot of hate in the chat.
I know. It's funny. I had mixed feelings, but I did get a little teary-eyed. Maybe because I'm already going through teary eyes anyway. When it was Jason and Michael, and they talked about Monica.
That was the best part, except Spinelli.
Yeah, I did. To me, it's like that's part of the history. I got a little teary-eyed, but otherwise, I wasn't a big fan of the wedding myself. The weddings this season on General Hospital have been lackluster.
Horrible.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
All the
Drew
weddings.
Lex's
We're
wedding
just
was actually the best one, sadly.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best wedding out of all of them. I'm like, you already know I ranted about the Brucas wedding, and I ranted about the. The weddings this year have not made me happy. We're soap watchers. We want the big flashy weddings. We want the people coming in from out of town. This is soaps. Mm-hmm. Give me what we want. That's what we want.
I'll just give you a flashy wedding just for you. There'll be
very
wine
nice.
being thrown into people's faces. Somebody was dead. We'll come back to and it'll be great. Somebody will get slapped, and it'll be great just for you, James.
Yeah, I know.
That's how it should be.
Actually, when me and Donald Turner have our wedding under our hospital, it'll be big, flashy, and just the best. The best. He will wear a shirt. Don't worry. He'll wear a shirt to the wedding. Don't worry.
As long as I get to slap the other Alexis during that wedding.
She was like the best
You know,
this week,
Alexis
though.
after we have to be together. Two Alexis's.
Yeah, it's just going to be an all-out brawl. There could only be one.
Yes. It'll be fun.
I love the Highlander reference.
Just
I love
for
it. Well, you guys do the show. Have a good time. I just want to say thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. And James Lott Jr. is trying to come back. He's working it out. He's trying to.
He
I'm doing
He
that.
will come back because you got people waiting on you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what to do without you,
Yeah,
James.
gain that strength and make your way back over here now, okay? I got one more Sunday with you, James.
I know. Okay, I know. So, but
Yeah.
I'll just talk about that later too.
Yeah.
You guys go do the show. Do me proud, and I will see you guys next week.
All
Love
right.
you, James.
Bye,
Love you.
James.
Bye, you guys.
Look at that. The one, the only, James Lott Jr. Look at that. Doing well, given the life circumstances that are coming at him. And he'll be back here in person next week with the panel. As we're talking about changes and people's circumstances, I guess, we might as well just segue before we dive into the week that was. One last tangent here.
I'm not ready.
Our very own Ladine Harvey has one other announcement to make.
All right, guys. So I will be leaving for a little while. I don't want to say how long just yet, but I'll be gone for quite some time. And I don't know if they're going to find a replacement or not, but if they do, I am asking that you guys welcome the other person with open arms. I will be back, but I just don't know when yet. So next Sunday will be my last Sunday for a little minute.
True to the rumor that you will be going away with Anthony Montgomery.
Can you stop it?
I mean, that's what I heard, Frank.
That's what I isn't that the deal?
I
thought so.
I read Soap Digest, and I saw that there was going to be a getaway into the sunset.
No.
Yeah, there was a little article on there.
Thank
Y'all
you.
better
Thank
stop.
You, Lacretia. I thought so. I read that in my morning paper.
ABC Subs in Depth also had
Yeah,
it.
that's right. You know what? I think someone else was reading that. Yeah, for sure.
It's a new journey for me, so I'm excited. But yeah.
So that means, of course, with next week being Ladine's last episode, big applause. She won't be here for the 1-year anniversary show, but I think we're going to be able to twist her arm to do at least a little video.
Yes,
A little
definitely.
chime in that way at the very least.
Oh, they're talking about Link.
I know. Trust me, guys.
Keep it together, Frank. You can do it. Be
I'm
strong.
I'm a professional.
We just don't have the same chemistry, Frank.
That's right. We'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. I
We
mean,
gotta
this-
keep going. I don't want to get emotional right here, so let's
Well,
keep
then
it going.
let's jump right into it. As we're talking about before, we're talking about Paul being revealed as a hospital killer. Now, the producers had said that they wanted to have this be a meaningful revelation, whoever the killer was going to be. And as they were looking around to figure out which character they were going to use, they figured because of some motivations and because of some reasons, they had already kind of set things in motion with a character that seemed to make obvious sense that they should be the hospital killer. And now we find out that that's Paul. So far, I don't see, other than his, being really emotional when it comes to talking about his kids and Susan specifically.
There's no real reason why they would make him the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that explanation is bullcrap. I'm calling it, because I'm sorry, but there is absolutely nothing that has said Paul is the killer. Yes, there have been these moments about Susan, but it's like, so why would he kill these random old
Right.
people? I mean,
Is it revenge or I don't know?
yeah, it has. I don't care how they write at this point. It's just dumb, and just say, yeah, we got drunk and just thought, well, who are we gonna make the killer? We haven't really thought this out. Let's make it Paul.
I think the only reason why I kind of like it, the only reason why I like it to be Paul, is so Ava could have her hand in the pot right now with him. You understand?
I mean, if you're looking at it as a way to, because Julian has dug himself into such a hole that it's impossible. I mean, he's going away.
Right.
So I feel that's the only way that you could
We
make
could
it.
redeem his character, Julian's character.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what the chat is reiterating. And, a lot of people are saying that initially Paul was this bad guy and they'd gone through all these rewrites to change it. But to be honest, as bad as he was while killing Sloane, his reasoning for that made sense. And also, you're going to kill a bunch of old people in the hospital? Like, I get him killing Sonny, any sort of mobster or any ties to like Susan, like Sloane, to get what he wants. But this whole serial killer, angel of death thing makes absolutely no sense.
Dick Quan said,
Yeah.
I wish they made the killer Sabrina so she can be killed off.
Well, at least Sabrina would make more sense, being that she's a nurse and would have a reason to be at the hospital, have a grudge against the hospital. But I don't know. I don't write for General Hospital, but maybe if I did.
And I feel because like Bobby was one of the intended victims, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, why was Paul Hornsby trying to kill Bobby?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make any sense either.
And to me, it's like even these other people. I mean, the whole angel of death idea really made sense. But how are you going to write Paul as that?
It was so just because there's so much. We still haven't really resolved anybody finding out that he was the one that shot Sonny.
That's what I was waiting on, that part right there. I would rather them unfold that story versus the whole killer thing.
Yeah, to me, it's just like, okay, you could say Paul shot Sonny if you're trying to get rid of him, but this whole
Yeah.
hospital killer thing, I don't know if they're going to dig up that all these people in the hospital that he killed raped his daughter, like Sloane. It's like the only logical conclusion that you can come to now.
I don't know.
I don't understand his motivation for this, which is so frustrating. And we just find out through the course of the week that Ava gets brought in. She thinks it's going to be about Julian. That Paul's going to use his leverage on her and reveal it to Jordan. But no, Jordan needs her expertise as an art broker to look at look at that Roman coin as a cufflink. And she's like, everybody looking at that photo is like, I've seen that before.
And I love that Ava initially comes in like, why the hell are you, bitches up. Like, why the hell are you calling me in? Like, and then Jordan's like, oh no, I need you as a consultant. She's like, oh, okay. Like, just immediately like,
Right.
yeah, whatever.
Man, I feel like even Ava, like when she's trying to be like genuine and like helpful for a moment, like as she's looking at that coin, she still just seems like, man, I don't trust a word coming out of your mouth. But then finally dawns on her, it's like, wait, oh my gosh, maybe it's Paul. I remember him after one of our trysts having that, and so goes to his room, and just clunkily finds the syringe and all the deferent, whatever I think that's the name of it.
They just made it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yes. And now she's got the goods on Paul.
I can't understand what makes Paul think it's okay to just sit the needle on top in the trash can.
That was so crazy
What
to me.
makes you think that's okay, Paul?
Yeah, this whole storyline makes no sense. I mean, Paul's done a pretty good job of obviously covering this for a while, so he's just gonna leave that out.
I guess that's why they made him like disappear. Remember, it was a while we was like, "Where's Paul?" Maybe I don't know.
Stop killing people in the
Coming up with
hospital.
a plan.
Yeah. Ugh. So that was all ridiculous. But as he's in Monica's office, which I don't know exactly why he went to Monica's office anyway. Like why he needed to be there.
What he was searching around for.
Yeah, like what was he looking for? But Liz just happens to stop in and see him in there, and then all of a sudden he realizes. Well, I do like that he's in Monica's office with with his rubber glove on and the syringe in his hand. Like what was he? What was he expecting? Like behind the desk, what was he imagine that Monica was going to walk in and that he was going, oh hey, come here, I got this for you. That whole didn't make sense to me. But then you know that he's the one that pushed her down the stairs. And but I like that it's like, oh wait, she saw me.
Right.
So?
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. It's
so
like,
he had to get rid of her.
you had a pretty good excuse. I'm looking for a pin. Elizabeth really didn't suspect anything about it,
Right.
you know, because it's like, okay, he was supposed to be here. I mean,
But
I really hate the fact that they made Hayden be in the staircase at that time.
well, it was just a way to throw suspicion off of Paul. It's just one of those convenient scapegoats.
I
that-
just want Hayden to have a break right now. Like, she is really catching life so hard.
yeah.
Well, so-
I like Hayden.
But I mean, part of it's her own. I mean, certainly getting shot in the head, you know, not the most appropriate response. But she did come in, you know, trying to pull a con. She does get shot in the head, but then she didn't do herself any favors by trying to, you know, sneak those diamonds around. So that's not the best thing, but still.
Yeah, her and Fent were just adorable this week.
Yeah, well, it's
I can't wait for those two.
well, why don't we talk a little bit about them? So, of course, you know, Paul pushes Liz down the stairs. Hayden happens to be right, which that whole I don't understand that whole geography at all.
I mean,
like
yeah.
why Hayden decided that she wanted to go down the elevator. Like why everybody decided they want to go down the escalator. All right, first
Well,
I
the
got to stop.
elevator wasn't working. The
Yeah.
elevator wasn't working. So they decided that they were going to take the stairs. They really wanted to leave.
First off, I'll backtrack to the beginning of the week when Liz decides to make a call to Jordan to let her know that, hey, I've got these diamonds, and Hayden was lying. She has these diamonds, and now I have them. But she's making this call by the elevator banks in the hospital. Like, it's supposed to be such a private call.
Well, and to me, it's like, why would you do it there when you know Finn's her friend? I mean,
Yeah.
Curtis is always up in there. A lot of people who like Hayden kind of hang around that elevator bay. Liz, you're normally smarter than this.
That was the weirdest place to make that call. Like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, I need some place where it's a little quieter. Like,
Yeah.
you made this call right here. Come on. So then Hayden, of course, knows from when Ava says, like, hey, Liz got those diamonds. And so Hayden's on her way to try to make that happen. And a nice little slap in the face.
I liked that. That was funny.
Yeah.
And Finn breaking up a girl fight. I was like, you never break up a girl fight.
That look he gave when Liz was slapped, I was like,
He was a wee bit turned on.
There you go. So then, for some reason, like everybody decides to go down the elevator because Liz went down the stairs just because she was just tired of waiting for the elevator. It wasn't before that was before the power went out.
Yeah, that's because everybody's always trying to go up and down the elevator. It's like it's a hospital. Use the stairs. You should be more fit than that.
Guess so,
really?
but,
I used the elevator in the hospital.
but yeah, but in all the time we ever watched General Hospital, how many times have you ever seen anybody say like, I'm waiting too long for this elevator. I'm gonna take the stairs. Never. Never. That's never happened. And it's only because they wanted to make this thing happen. That's like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess this time Liz is finally fed up. She just has had enough, and I'm going to walk down the stairs. And then cheesily gets pushed down the stairs. So then Hayden, for some reason, just like walking down there too. She gets thought. Franco sees it. It all starts coming together. Poor Hayden, now getting framed for this.
Exactly.
And just after the nice little tender moment that her and Finn had.
Yeah.
Which I have to admit, they have so much more chemistry together than Nicholas and Hayden ever did.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's like Nicholas and Hayden had chemistry in the beginning, but it's like once you shoot someone in the head, you know, just like Sonny and Carly, it's kind of hard to root for you.
Leave Sonny
Yeah.
and Carly out of it.
Hey, he shot her in the head. I didn't make that up.
And I mean, how many times did we complain about the tiresome, dreams that Hayden would have about Nicholas smothering her or something like that? Like, ugh, it's so nice then to have that kind of dynamic at all. And so I am excited about this pairing. The thing that's kind of been frustrating to me is that Hayden feels a little slighted that Finn was a little, surly to her, a little rude, a little snippy with her. So he wants to apologize. And she's like, I need help. I'm way over it. Well, you can't help me. And Finn, I mean, I guess it's much of like a do as I say, not as I do. Because he
Yeah.
wanted no help at all when he was struggling down. But then all of a sudden,
But
Hayden,
that's y'all men.
Yeah.
That's how y'all get. Yep.
don't help me. I'm a big man. I
Yeah,
can take it, but
exactly.
let me help you.
And I don't see the problem with that sometimes. It's like, well, all right, less work for me. Why do people always complain about that? It's like, okay, fine. I don't want to help you.
By the way, see, I mean, Finn clearly has something for her. He lied to Jordan.
Right.
That,
Why? I was so frustrated at him for doing that.
well, I mean, he says
Like,
he
you guys
believes
are
that she
not,
didn't do
you
it.
guys are not even official, and you're about to go down for this girl.
Well, I mean, she did sign Curtis's, little lease there. Hayden's a all or nothing kind of girl, and Ben knows that. Because he needs a lease signed, too. He's living in the Metro Court, so...
True.
Yeah, so I mean, I did like that, and now he's changed her medical records enough that say that he needs to be the one that to in person provide her medication. Like, what? I must do this in person. What great medical records! Saying, all right, sure. But what I liked, and I think is going to bode well for next week, is just Hayden, Finn, and Curtis getting together to work together, and I love the idea of the two of them teaming up. Yeah, so
To get her out.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
But we feel like the reason that Curtis and Finn couldn't get together originally is because Curtis was trying to set Nina up with a
Right.
little baby.
I know, and that didn't go well.
I know. That scene broke my heart.
Yeah, and even though I love Ava, and every other scene this week, she was spot on, because I loved her toying with Paul. But this scene, I was like, don't mess with my girl, Nina.
I know.
You know, and certainly, I mean, Nina's actions were not great. But, I mean, I have to admit, I agreed with Nina when she said, like, you're such a hypocrite. You've done all this terrible stuff, and you haven't paid for it at all. And like, I was like, well, because nobody can prove it.
And to me, that whole line about when are you going to see the consequences felt so ominous. And I'm like, I feel that something's going to happen to Avery. Because Kiki's already been shot, and like Ava is one of those people that's tad selfish, but obviously what matters more to her is her kids. So what's really gonna hurt her is Avery.
Right.
And I'm like, something's gonna happen there. I don't know if it turns out Nell's gonna be a crazy nanny or what, but
Yeah, so I feel bad. It's I'd be curious to see what they do with Nina now. I mean, they kind of like boxed off this. Because it's so frustrating because this has been such a big thing about her character, where she keeps talking about a baby, 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 baby. And now we finally had just an opportunity like, hey, we could address this and get it over with. Because it's been a kind of annoying point of her character.
I could actually see her with a child. I feel like she has developed enough to be able to take care of a little person.
yeah, and to me, it's just sort of the next logical step of her putting her life back together with Crimson and stuff like that. And that's why, more so than with Lulu's constant baby talk, it's like with Nina, you understand because she was pregnant when she went into this coma. And so I'm a little bit more understanding of her plight for this need for a baby because that's where she was when she went into this coma. 20 years passed, but she didn't. But she's gone, through all these steps to be an adult and get this job and stuff like that. But that's still there.
It seems like that make me want them to pull back that old rumor that Kiki is really her daughter. And then that way that, it's you can find out that Ava just gets what's coming to her with that.
Maybe that could be why they didn't do the little baby, because she already has one.
I don't know, but it's just like, why make that scene happen? They must have some kind of game plan, because it's like, why set that up just to knock it down, and now she's back where she's at? I mean, other than you're looking for her just to kind of restoke that rivalry against Ava, which, I don't know, I guess, it'd been kind of laying low. So.
Right.
Yeah, to me, that would be interesting. And I feel like were gung-ho for that because Kirsten Alderson looks so much like Michelle Stafford. And I feel that they backed off because of Haley Aaron. But at the same time, it's just like, why don't we just revisit that and, see where it goes since, Ava does have Avery, Nina's got nothing, and that's still mentioned all the time that she lost that baby.
Now, one thing that Nina does have, though, is she seems to have a new best friend with Felicia. Which, hey, great. Anytime great to see Felicia on the canvas as well. And she had some scenes, she got to talk, but I still don't understand the reasons for those. Were like, why do these scenes exist? As much as I like those two actresses, like there was no point to those two.
Yeah, they were just like, all right, we need to use Felicia. What can we do? And that's really what it seemed like, is that they were just half-assing it.
Right.
And it's like, okay, what?
Improv.
You guys just run each other at the coffee place and you guys just talk. Like, Okay, let's just talk about everything that we've been doing today. All right, I was in a scene where we talked about Maxie.
And Nathan, and then, I'm on there. So, and it was just, it just didn't even seem real.
Yeah.
Because both of them like both characters, so it just seemed very odd, even though they obviously have these loyalties. To start it out with them being very negative about Nathan and Maxie was like, what?
Yeah. Well, and so we see Maxie starting that day with talking to Felicia inside the floating rib, because that's where all great conversations happen, or inside the floating rib. And I don't know, I felt like Maxie's like all her like wedding like scrapbooking and stuff. That was. You know, for some reason, for a woman that runs, like, I guess one of the top 1 or 2 fashion magazines.
So organized, huh?
It would be organized. It'd be like on the computer, be PowerPoint.
I thought it was only me.
I was just looking at all that going, like, what is happening here? And this is not your first potential attempt down the aisle. I mean, what about Spinelli?
She needs help.
Yeah. You've been close to going down the aisle. You practically did go down the aisle with Spinelli. So, I mean, where's all this crap coming from?
Especially for somebody like Nathan.
Yeah, but I guess that's fine. Just like whatever this whole thing with Claudette, just move forward, because it's like whatever Claudette's reasons is, I'd rather
I just don't want Maxie with Nathan anymore. Period. Like, he's giving her too much headache. She just needs to not be with him. I don't think I want them together anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. As much as I'm really liking the Nathan character now, I feel that I've always been a big supporter of Maxie and Spinelli, because I think Maxie is someone who has so much heart, just gone through so much crap, that I want her to be with this good guy. And when Nathan turned out not to be so, I'm like, okay, I want her either back with Spinelli or with Griffin. But Nathan and Claudette have the chemistry, and they're both bad and deliciously bad, and I think this will be more interesting for Nathan.
All right, so for you, who has more chemistry, Nathan and Claudette or Griffin and Claudette?
I think Nathan and Claudette.
Okay.
I think so, too.
Griffin just seemed... He was kind of into it, but he's also, like, pushing away.
Yeah, so
and
it's
not in a hot way, like with
Yeah.
Maxie, where it's like, okay, he's like, it's forbidden. With Claudette, he's like, I don't want to.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting when they get together, where all great scenes happen inside the General Hospital locker room. And Griffin, as usual, just wearing a towel, nothing else. And Claudette's there with his underwear.
Yeah, and Marlon Wallace in the chat said he thought of me when he saw that scene. Thank you, Marlon.
There you go. Yeah, and they, I mean, other than sharing a kiss, they really didn't have a chance to really explore their feelings there. And I mean, Griffin just basically said, every time I think of you, I think of this, and pointing to his bullet wound.
Bullet wound.
He's like, get over it, Griffin. Come on. You're still alive. What do
He
you...
has to live with that, Frank.
And it's funny, all the chat seems to agree that Nathan with Claudette and Maxie with Griffin, if it can't be Spinelli. I like that. It's like, on the same page here.
Man, I just feel like Griffin, it's, whatever it happens, I feel like it can't happen that fast, because they've made such a point with this priest stuff, which, oh, man, enough of this priest stuff.
It's not really getting anywhere. The way they hyped it up, it's like it's stuck around this one little storyline, and I'm just really tired of it, and I want it to move forward.
I mean, other than for him performing last rites in the hospital, I mean, him being a priest is not essential to that story with Nathan and Claudette. He could just have been a doctor at the time. It felt terrible about cheating on somebody else, on another man's wife. That, I mean, and getting shot. I mean, that's a horrible shame that you could feel on that. But I don't know how much that, just adding this priest thing to it.
Yeah, let's just hope they have a little bit more depth to the story, I guess.
Yeah, well, I just...
maybe he slept with 2 people.
I don't know.
Hey, I'm cool with Nathan and Griffin if we're going to get weird with the priest. GH Writers.
No.
But Griffin, got a chance to just repeat basically the general doctor's orders there that Finn started when Liz got pushed down the stairs. And Finn runs down and goes, hey, we need a backboard and a neck brace. And then like Griffin comes back down the stairs. We need a backboard and a neck brace. Thanks, Griffin. Great. We already got that. Can we move on past that? But Liz, other than just having it tumble down the stairs and just being in kind of some pain, and just kind of wincing and whining on the hospital bed, there's no amnesia, there's no brain damage, there's nothing like that.
It almost seemed that they were going to go with amnesia. It almost seemed that way. Yeah. I was like, they better let her remember what's happening. We don't need someone else losing their memory, okay?
It's like, been there, done that.
Been there, done that, exactly.
So we have her laying up in the hospital bed, and at the beginning of the week, of course, Franco, we've been talking about speculation if it's going to be Hayden and Liz, are they sisters? We've been talking about that. That's, we think, what the deal is. We finally get confirmation as Franco is talking to Heather Weber. She finally confirms, like, yep, they are sisters. That's the deal. And I've been getting hush money from Naomi by not spilling that little secret. And so Franco's like, well, I'm telling everybody. I'm going back and I'm telling everyone.
I knew that was going to happen.
It's just so funny how delighted Franco was on his face, especially when the first person he got to tell. He's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like I've never seen him have that much enthusiasm for something like, ooh, gossip.
So he tries to tell Hayden first. I don't know why he didn't tell Liz, but he goes for Hayden first. And then when Hayden is still in the police custody, so you can't directly talk to her, Naomi walks in. And hey, guess what, Naomi? I know your big deal. And Naomi's excuse for Franco not saying anything to Liz, like, she just fell down the stairs. Do you think she could handle finding out that her father or mother didn't have the perfect marriage? Like, what?
Really?
That's the lamest reason to not tell anybody. She just fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
So if Franco buys into that, I can't believe that Franco for a second
even stopped talking because of.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if Franco even for a moment delays this, then that's going to because Franco's an anarchist. He just likes to just throw everything up in the air and see what happens. So if he would, he has to tell her.
He has to tell Liz.
Yeah. If this gets drawn out, I'm going to be so irritated.
I want Hayden to find out first because I want to see her reaction first before Liz's reaction.
Yeah, because that'd be the thing. Because she'd be like, "Oh my God, that bitch." Hayden's will at least be funnier.
You know, and I feel like Naomi's excuse might hold more water if Liz ever talked so adoringly about her dad. Like, when's the last time she ever really mentioned her dad at all?
Yeah, that was my thing. Is like, really, like Elizabeth has maybe mentioned Jeff's name a handful of times since she's been on the show because they were never on the show together that I can remember, and that was actually a time I can remember. Yeah,
so I mean, it would be one thing if at the nurse's station there was a picture of Jeff Weber and she just
always gazing at it like, oh, dear old dad. But no, Liz, honestly, Liz has not had a lot of nice things to say about her parents. I mean, they shipped her and her sister to grandma's house to go off. Who likes that parent?
Yeah, so it's like let's just move on from this, please, GH.
Yes.
Just make this part happen already.
Please.
But one person that decided to spend a little time with Liz because she might be all alone is Sabrina. Oh man.
Why?
Well, I did we'll get back to Sabrina a little earlier in the week, but at least in the hospital room when Paul comes in to do the questioning with Nathan, they just give that Sabrina that moment as Paul leaves to what's happening? I'm like, what?
They're trying to make Sabrina relevant right now. They're trying to make her put the pieces together.
Yeah, I have to say, it really is sad that they're just trying to put Sabrina wherever they can because nothing is nice is ever said about Sabrina, certainly not in this chat.
How does Sabrina catch on before anybody else in that room?
Yeah, I mean, no offense, but she's not the brightest bulb in the hospital.
No.
And for some reason, I mean, just because we know he's the killer, and we know that that was something like that he wasn't supposed to be with the syringe in his hand, but they made such a big deal about him being in Monica's office. And Liz, you were there? Like, who cares why he was there? It doesn't matter. You don't know anything. In fact, we don't even know why he was in that office really. So what's the big deal? But they really dragged that out so long in that scene. So I feel like to just give reason for Sabrina to go,
Her little moment.
Oh, I'm thinking about this. I'm seeing stuff. Oh, God. And then her little nurse's moment. I can do it. I've still got my nursing license current. I was like,
she wants a job so bad.
Oh, honey.
Great. So it looks like I'm sure Sabrina will be making her way back with the shortage of nursing staff. Sabrina's going to step in. Thank goodness. Hooray. But we also get to see Sabrina and Michael hanging out at the floating rib because Teddy was teething. No, wait, it's going to be a late night. We need to fuel up.
The fact that all these people love to have their babies in bars. I mean, what is this? I get that they threw a pinball machine in the floating rib to make it, and it's a rib place now, but it's a bar. I mean, I'm sorry. It's not a family restaurant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just seems so odd. I mean, again, you cannot tell me that Jax, a rich man like that, his first inclination is like, let's go to a bar.
Yeah,
Come on, Jocelyn.
It's like, where is Jax? Are they done with that? And then to have that, it's like, no.
Like that was, if that's the whole reason that he came back on the show, just even for that little bit, what a waste that was.
Yeah.
Shame.
He came to do his doing. He gone.
Oh, man. Come back, Jax. We'll give you the lamest things to do. Just stand on the side and go like, No, we can't have them talking about to each other. We can't.
Yeah,
That was it?
We'll throw Jackson with the Sabrina and Michael storyline.
Oh, man.
Well, let's just think of the worst things possible.
Well, also at the floating rib, of course, we have Sonny talking to one of his buddies, making sure, hey, we got to keep Julian on the lockdown. We need him contained. And Alexis is going bonkers inside the floating rib. Again, everybody in that storyline, whether is always hallucinating somebody else that they've either hurt or wronged or been hurt by. Everybody, whether it's Julian, it's thinking about Carlos. Alexis thinking about Julian.
Am I the only one that hates that they're making her hallucinate about this dude? Because it's not what I really want to say.
I don't know. I have visions of Julian sometimes.
But that's like shirtless with the kettlebell, just kind of like.
Yeah,
I
that
hate
guy.
that they have her like going crazy. You know?
I love that Tracy was the one to like calm her down though. Like to be honest, these two have never really seen eye to eye. And they've shared so many people in common that they care about. Like Luke, it really made sense for them to be together. I was like, okay, if we can have this crazy Alexis scene and then end it with this, great job.
That was the nicest thing about that scene, was just her and Tracy's moments in there. But, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, I guess it's tough to say how a woman that usually is so in control is all of a sudden placed in the situation where she has a knife to her throat, is like seconds away from potentially getting her throat slit by this guy. The way that her mother was killed, getting her throat slit. So, you know, I mean, who knows how that could unhinge somebody, but I would agree. It's like, oh, please, come on, let's get it together.
I love Alexis the Lush though, because it continued throughout the week.
Man, like when she went in for the wedding, and then all of a sudden eyed that champagne.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Alexis, you're my new favorite.
She, man, always with the drink in her hand. That's what I love.
She got to get through it some type of way.
Oof. Speaking of it, we'll talk a little bit about Carly and Sonny, since the wedding takes place there. We won't get to the wedding yet. But somebody earlier in the week, though, we did have Bobby come in and sees Carly and Nell talking. And Bobby, man, full of sass towards Nell. Right? Who's this? When she Bobby started that, I was like, what?
I didn't understand her hostility. It's like,
Maybe
you
she
see
just
this-
had that intuition. Maybe.
I guess, but man, it was just like out of the gate. Like, who's this? Like, it could have been just like the neighbor, like dropping off something. You better just eat this.
Or like a delivery girl, or there were plenty of innocent reasons. Also, in this seemingly as she's the new nanny, it's like, Bobby, chill. I mean, this is obviously setting it up, and it was really bad. I'm like, why?
Oh, yeah. But Bobby, I mean, what I did like is that it kind of logically, it's like, why would you get a nanny if you have Bobby around?
Right.
And certainly it was somebody like, we got to use Bobby for something. And Bobby's reasoning makes sense. Like, hey, I wasn't there to raise you. But let me show you how much I love you. Let me help you raise your daughter. That you consider somebody that your own daughter. Let me help you raise
Yeah, I
her.
was about to say, hey, but...
Yeah. So it certainly makes sense.
Yeah.
And just logically, it's, hey, that makes sense so much more than Nell. And even Sonny's on board. Like, yes, great to have family raising family.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just setting up, like, because you feel like Nell wants something. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever her real agenda was. So
I saw somebody in the chat, I'm not sure who it was, but they had said that they feel like Nell is after the person with her kidney, which is...
And I noticed a lot of the chat was speculating about Jerry Jacks being her father, because that may be why she was a match for Jocelyn, and that Jax didn't seem to have this kinship with her, because there was some speculation that she might be his illegitimate child. But what about Jerry? There was actually a few people who said that.
Wow.
So that's, would go along with that theory.
Right.
man, but how cold is Jerry Jacks to say, like, I'm going to cut into my own daughter to help you save yours? That's a new level of coldness.
Cutthroat, savage.
But that's, yeah. Oh, I mean, I guess that would, yeah, that'd be an interesting twist on that story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. What I was hoping, though, is that when she walked in, Bobby would go like, oh, my gosh, you look like my older sister.
Yeah, same actress.
Yes. You look like my older sister as a teenager. Oh, my gosh. But then, of course, we get to the super great event of the weekend, of the week, leading up. This horribly boring, really lame start of the wedding for Jason and Sam. Oh,
I
man.
thought it was actually a little bit cute the way they're starting it off with the pictures.
Oh, no, those pictures were the worst.
What?
Those were the worst.
I thought it was so cute. It was setting the mood.
Oh, no.
But then
No.
But I knew that the pictures were a setup to delay the wedding because we all know they're not going to get married. Come on.
Oh.
Once Jason get the call about Elizabeth, he's going to hold it.
Why? Why is he going to hold it? She's fine.
I don't know,
No.
but I feel like that. I don't know. I just feel like that's going to happen.
Those photos were
Why else would they put the
awful.
photos right in the beginning?
To just irritate me. That was it.
Because I even heard Sam say, I want to, let's do
Let's
this.
hurry up.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So,
I was with Sam. I was
on.
with Sam until I will say I hated the photo shoot being in the beginning because it was dumb and made no sense. But when Jason's like, "Can I just take one with Michael?" and then they talk about Monica, I almost lost my shit. I was like, "Oh, God. you remember that you're a Quartermaine."
Great. Thanks for name checking that for a second. Yeah, I mean, and you can't have Monica there. It's like we've done everything we can just to really dose these brief just acknowledgments that, hey, guess what? You're a Quartermaine too. But we never really do anything. Like, come on, get Monica in there.
Yeah, and that was the thing, is at least they had her, she was in the episode and was written out in a logical way. So I'm like, I wasn't as angry, but she should have been there. But Daquan is so with you, Frank. He's like, terrible, terrible wedding, boring.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it started off at the week where they get the room at the Metro Court. And we have to sit there watching them kind of make out.
Okay, the noodle Buddha part was kind of cute.
And then in the morning, look at I don't feel any nausea. Oh my gosh. All that was just like nails on a chalkboard to me. And then they show up, and then of course they're overdressed, and everybody else is like summer ready, and like we had a lame moment about that. Guys, we got to get all on the same page.
No.
Luckily, I did some shopping, and I found something beautiful for you.
I bought you a wedding dress.
Oh.
No. That's the only problem that I had. Like, you're not going to just go randomly shopping, for someone's wedding dress and then just happen to bring it to the wedding. Come on.
That was just it was abysmal. It was abysmal. It was just like this is awful. And just think about Jason and Sam. This is basically after they get married, say goodbye to them. Just say goodbye. This is because there's no reason for these characters to be on the show. Like you have Sonny and Carly get married. I mean, and certainly this is their 5th time getting married. But there's always the tension of he's a mobster, she's not. How does that life kind of?
She's pretty much okay with it at this point, so it's not interesting anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I guess they have got kids that are kind of moving on. But like Jason and Sam, I mean, Jake is pretty much normalized. I mean, there was that he got a little crazy for a little while, but then that's kind of just dropped off.
And that would have been way more interesting than this.
This is just basically, hey, get married and you guys just go off into the sunset, have your other baby, because there's no reason.
Another Brucus.
There's no reason for these characters to exist on this show anymore. There's nothing for them to do. And this, and I told this to Ladine last week, is like for everybody that was rooting for them to get together 2 years ago when he was Jake Doe. Is this what you were excited about getting? This?
Nope.
This is awful.
You're right.
What
You're
I
right
will
about
say
that part.
is like Michael B says Frank is killing it.
It's just driving me crazy that you invest so much into these characters and there's just zero to do with
Yeah,
them.
because I was excited about those two getting back together and Jason have his memory back, but they're not doing much with them, so it's kind of just like blah.
And so they get married. So
Yeah.
they're married. I assume that I don't see any of the reason why this marriage isn't going to go. Just really nice and
regular,
So it's going to get finished on Monday, maybe Tuesday, and then okay, great.
Yeah, I mean Spinelli did show up. That part was amazing.
Well,
I
true.
love Spinelli,
Okay.
and it was very obvious from the get go, especially when Carlos was like, "Oh, he's going over his speech." It's like I know who that is. Like worst kept secret ever. If someone who actually cares what they say is Spinelli, because that's it.
Very true. So I mean, that was nice to have Spinelli. I'll take any excuse to get Spinelli back for sure. But then even go back for the photo. So you see Jason smiling like genuinely during that picture with Michael, and then he does this really heartfelt thing where he opens up, "Sonny, thank you so much, like a brother to me. You've done all this stuff. You're my family." And then they show the photo of him and Sonny, and Sonny's like all happy, and Jason's like, what? He's he's got this look on his face like you picked the worst photo to show. Like he just had this genuine moment where he opened up to Sonny.
When he took a picture with Sonny, it was like it's so disconnected.
It still is.
It still is. Even when he was thanking him, I was just like,
yeah.
This is not really.
It's like you're just saying the words because you feel like, but there's no genuine sense of that.
Definitely not.
And that to me is the Jason and Sonny relationship. As someone who's never really cared for it, the fact that Billy Miller and Maurice Bernard don't have the same chemistry as Steve Burton, so it just feels like meh. And then a lot of the chat is saying the rumor is that Sam's baby might be Lulu and Stavros, that somehow Valentine implanted her, and that's why she's pregnant again. And I'm like, apparently this is running around. Now, I don't put it past the writers to be that off on medical knowledge, but this would be something to spice up the J. Sam storyline.
But when would that have happened?
I know, I'm like, she was unconscious briefly, but I don't know if people are aware of how that happens. It's a pretty invasive procedure.
Yeah. And because there's something like when she was on Cassadine Island, because she was fainting before then. I mean, she was fainting. Yeah, she was getting all dizzy and whoopsie for there. So I don't think that no way that happened on Cassadine.
Well, I mean, there was no way Paul would be the hospital killer, and they did that. That's why I say it's like, don't put these ideas in their head. Like, they'll go with that, even though there's absolutely no plausible way that could happen.
That's and speaking of the embryo, we do have. I mean, I'm always welcome to Robert Scorpio. I love Tristan Rogers. So any chance I get Robert Scorpio is great.
Yes.
But also the really super hot scene I always wanted for Robert Scorpio is I have to sit there and talk to Lulu Spencer about an embryo. Great. That's the right there at the top of the list of Robert Scorpio scenes that I want to see. Thank you so much, CH writers.
Is it me? But I don't know. To me, Dante even seems uninterested in this now. He just seems like he's not having it. He don't want to talk about no baby talk anymore.
It's just like Lulu,
he
drop
looks
it.
like he's so over it.
And I agree with him. It's like, just drop it, Lulu. Just drop it, okay?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I'm back to loving Dante and thinking he's the greatest husband because, like, he's looking that on our face, and just like the rest of us, we're like, this is horrible. But he's just like, all right, baby, it's okay. Oh, God, I'm going to kill myself.
Yes. He's just quietly like, okay, go ahead and do your thing. This is terrible.
It's like you're back to the Dante we all know and love. The happy little husband who just puts up with it.
Oh, yeah. Just enough Lulu with this Crichton Clark stuff. And like that, did they catalog anything? Do they have like a thermos? Is there anything inside the thermos? I think they would have looked through every single little bit of evidence. And they would have found it. If there was a thermos, they would have opened it to see what's inside of it. They would have found it already, Lulu. Relax. It's gone. Please.
Yeah, so even Daquan says Dante is just speaking for the audience. Because, it's like Emmy Ryland, or Marcy Ryland, whatever you want to call her at this point, because she's been by many names, is a way better actress than what they give her as Lulu, guys. I mean, she was a fantastic Abby on YNR. Give this girl the material she deserves, because this stuff sucks. Like, I don't care if they have another kid.
No.
It's annoying.
And you had that moment right there in Cassadine Island where she sees the skeleton, takes the gun, and decides to go back in and kick some ass.
That's the Lulu I want to see.
Yeah. And of course, then you set that up, and then you cut her off at the knees by just letting her just like give up the gun right away. You had the chance there to come in and save the day.
Right.
No, instead we just do a bunch of dumb stuff. Oh, good stuff, everybody.
Ooh,
that was the hot week that was. There was poor Charles. I could go on and on about this wedding, and I'm sure what's great about them stopping on Friday is that I get all next week then to go and hate this wedding more.
And I think only 4 days, because they might not have one on Labor Day.
Oh, that's right.
True.
All right, great. So, can't wait. So we, as always, we like to do after we get the recap done is go into our little segments here. Why don't we just start off? Get into the ER stat. We talked. James brought it up about the weddings. Like, oh my gosh, just please, just do better with your stories. I've talked so much about all this stuff, but I feel like I keep harping on it week after week after week. It's just the storytelling is driving me crazy on this show. Just the inconsistency with pacing, these weird revelations, these lack of storylines for characters, people just kind of just floating in and out with no sense of purpose on this show. There's just so many potential storylines with all these characters, and I feel like they're all just dying on the vine, and I don't know what direction the show is heading in, and it's just frustrating. And I talk about this every week, and I feel like I'm a broken record at this point.
Like the past 2-3 weeks where the storylines have been like up and down, up and down.
But it's just, if you're gonna, like Jason and Sam. I mean, they made such a big thing about this character coming back, him and Sam being reunited. Everybody was all excited about this, and then this is what we're getting out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to blame Sonny, but I'm gonna blame Sonny, Ladine, because I think that's where we lost Jason, is when he got back his memories as Jason Morgan, not Quartermaine, and it all went back to Carly and Sonny's orbit.
No,
to me, him being with Carly had started before then, so I was like, okay. And Carly had that connection with AJ, Michael. So there's at least somewhat reason for him to be with her. But yeah, as we said earlier, he and Sonny just don't even fit together anymore.
Right.
And it's like, so why?
Since he got his memory back, he hasn't been in the orbit of Sonny.
And
really.
to me, it's just like throwing him in that and making him, again, just Jason Morgan is what the problem is. And again,
he's going to be boring being just Jason by himself without Sonny.
But imagine an alternate storytelling that came in. So Jason gets his memories back. He remembers his time as Jason Morgan and Jason Quartermaine, embraces both sides of that, wants to reconnect more with the Quartermaine side because he's been kind of disassociated with them for so long. Yeah. And he kind of gets all those memories back, though, but he's like, I want to reconnect. So he works with Michael. He's part of ELQ. He's doing like internal security. He's doing a private investigation for them. He's all of a sudden you have Jerome, corporate. He's got a corporation. So right there, so they're already butting heads. You can get Ned Ashton involved with this. Jax could come in. He doesn't have to be all of a sudden about Jocelyn Skinny, but it also could be a corporate raider. He's been butting heads with Quartermaines before. There's so many more interesting storylines you could have done with him as Jason Quartermaine.
This is why Frank should be writing for General Hospital.
I would have loved to see that.
That sounded like a way more compelling story arc than what we've got.
Awesome. Yeah. I don't even know what's happening, but that sounded great.
Thanks, Alexis.
No.
So that is my just rant. Frank Valentine, reach out to me. I'm happy to just sit in, spitball some ideas in the writer's room. But hey, we'll get to Love in the Afternoon.
Yeah, so this week, Love in the Afternoon, I was changing it up a little bit. I was on my phone a lot because I was asking the chat room, what did they love this week? So I see R. Melvin Fan said, I love the Spinelli scene. It's perfect having him officiate. I believe I saw Naxie saying that she loved Griffin in a towel this week. Girl, yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to switch it up a little bit and open it up to the fans, see what they like this week.
Oh yeah, look at you. Look at that, giving back to the fans.
Just giving it back.
And your boy Anthony just basically almost for a second blamed as the hospital murder, but you don't think it was me, did you?
I loved Anthony.
I would have never thought it was Anthony, though.
No.
So I don't even know why they were even trying.
I like
why they even tried to play him like that.
Oh, I agree. When they tried to try it with Andre, I was like, oh, no, you didn't. Andre is like one of the best characters on the show. And, I get he's been sidelined because of his injury, and then Anna being gone. But no, we want Andre Maddox on the show.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like Anna giving back will just maybe give Paul something more to do. And Andre.
I don't know. I want the Andre that be in the studio, because he seemed, a whole lot of reserved on the show. But I want that one.
Well, he's a psychiatrist.
I know, but I mean, come on, you could put your own little flavor in it too.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Like, see, he and Kevin Collins could do like a psychiatrist rap duo or something like. Sir Freud a lot.
All right, so Lacretia, who's the winners and losers this week?
I'm going to give my winners a tie for Ava and Alexis, because I will say they each had a scene that I didn't like, so that's why it's a tie. But Ava with Paul was just so awesome, because she's like, and she did forget that this isn't her first serial killer she had sex with. I mean, Franco was a serial killer. But it was funny because she's like, I'm going to use this. Like, no, like, ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, oh, yeah, I'm using this. Like, and their sex tape is how she had the evidence. So go get it, girl. And then Alexis, the lush, I love you. I want more of this, Alexis. She's fun, hanging out with Diane, drinking. I mean, her and Ava should get a drink. Have some fun, ladies.
Now, I'm curious what that scene with her and Paul, when she finally gets him and says, like, hey, this is what I want. And Paul says, what do you want? Do you want the recording back? And she's like, well, I'm sure you made copies of it, so that's kind of useless at this point. But I want you to go and get Julian off of this acquitted for this crime. Do you feel like it seemed like a moment, even she was surprised that Paul all of a sudden, like, weakened and was like, all right, I'll play along. I feel like she was surprised, like, oh man, I'm gonna swing for the fences and see if I can get what I want. Right. And he's gonna do it. All right.
That's what I like. She was taken aback by, okay, it's easy.
One thing I didn't understand is when she found the stuff that he was using to kill the people, like how could they trace that back to him? You understand what I mean? She took it.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I guess you could just say it was in his room. I mean, yeah. The fact that she took the
poor.
evidence is.
If they take that from her and run with that, that's poor on police behalf.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I would have to think that Paul is smarter, that there wouldn't be any fingerprints on any of the syringes or the vials or anything
That's
like
what I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah.
So I would rather her find the cufflinks, if anything.
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess we'll see where that plays out. But who's your loser?
Sorry, I've got to give it to Lulu because I'm just so sick of this baby crap. As I say, Amy Ryland deserves way better material, and let's just either the baby's out there or it's not. Like, just stop.
Yeah. Well, because when I was reading the articles about Tristan Rogers coming back, it was like, hey, he's going to be involved in 3 storylines. Oh, man, I didn't realize one of them was going to be this, because this is a clunker.
And to me, it's just like, is that it? Just like with Jax, like they want to tease us with these beautiful Australians, and then that's it. Like,
yeah, if you make such a big to-do about getting these legacy characters back, we got Jax back. Guess what? We're gonna, this is important. Like, he hasn't been on the show in like 5 years. This is awesome. And then he's there for a couple weeks, just standing in the sidelines. Yeah. That was it.
And like Tristan Rogers, I mean, he's on both my screens right now with YNR and General Hospital, and it's just the same thing. It's like, this guy is a legend. Do they not realize that? It's like, give him more to do on either show. Yeah. Preferably General Hospital, because that's the, Tristan Rogers we all know and love, is this, Robert Scorpio, this badass spy. And I get that Vinola Hughes isn't there, but he's got Mac.
Yes. Make him commissioner.
Yeah. He's done it before.
Yeah. And what's weird is, like, please, it's great to have Tristan Rogers back, but don't use him as just a mouthpiece for Luke Spencer. Because that
was pretty crappy to me. It's like, okay, he's just here to speak for Luke.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you.
Yes.
Some information. It's like.
That was just so clunky.
You could
and
call
it's like,
her.
Yeah.
Call her for that.
It's like I would appreciate just Lulu having a phone call. Like, you're just seeing the tail end of a phone call, and that she says, "Oh, I just got done talking to my dad." I'd rather have that than try to do some kind of lame thing with Tristan Rogers. Like, "Hey, guess what? Luke wanted me to tell you. Look out for Valentine Cassadine." I'm like, all right, great, thanks. Well, now that Luke said it, then I guess we should take it seriously. Okay. The fact that he just killed your brother, we weren't that concerned about him, but okay. So that, of course, brings us to the end of this episode of the GH Report. I know we didn't get a chance to talk to you guys on the phone. We love giving the phone calls in. We're running a little bit late, so we apologize for that. But next week, James Lott Jr. will be in the house here. It's Ladine's last show for a while with us here, so we'll make sure we get a chance to open up the phone lines so you can say farewell to Ladine. Look at that. Yes. There we go. Come in and say their goodbyes to you there. But in the meantime, folks, thanks so much for watching. We love interacting. Thanks so much for hopping in the chat. We love talking with you, hearing your thoughts.
Yes.
Again, you can follow us on Facebook. Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter so we can continue the conversation even after this show is over. So, Ladine, where can they find you even when the show's not airing?
You can find me on Twitter at Ladine_Harvey and Facebook at Ladine Corinthos Harvey for all y'all sunny haters out there.
Ooh.
And guys, since I'm Lacretia Lyon, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one. And be sure to stay tuned for the Restless Wrap-Up. We will be taking phone calls for your favorite Y&R moments, since we just celebrated the 11,000th episode.
Ooh, look at that. Any rumor that you're heading east to hang out with a coffee importer? No? No? All right. Okay, just checking. You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie. Again, James Lott Jr. will be back in this seat. I'm just merely a placeholder for the excellence that is James Lott Jr., and he'll be back delivering all the good stuff that he always does here next week. And we'll see you all next week here on the AfterBuzz TV GH Report. See you then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.